Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to lesson 1. I am really excited to bring you through my process of preparing my records so I can use them on the CDJs. And I'm gonna do all of that starting off with Rekordbox, my favorite application that I like to use to prep my music. It is free to download off the Pioneer website, and you can buy a version of it that unlocks more capabilities to link up with your CDJs if you want to DJ with your laptop. I personally prefer just traveling with my flash drive. So we're gonna dive into some cool features here that I like to use, hot cues, some looping. I'm gonna show you guys how I prep my tracks and things like that. So the first thing we're gonna do in prepping our music is to run it through an application that I love to use called Mixed in Key. And Mixed in Key is really cool because it uses this color wheel here that you see with numbers and letters that relabels your songs and designates them to a new key that'll line up so you can mix your songs flawlessly. It's very user-friendly. You don't need to know anything about music theory. You don't have to be a musician, none of these things. And I'm gonna explain to you how it works because it's very, very simple. First off, we're gonna dump our music in, it's gonna analyze it, and it's gonna give it a number and a letter that you see here. And that number and letter represent the key of a song, but you don't need to know what the key of it is, as long as you know that you can mix it flawlessly into a very specific partnering number nearby. So, for example, if you analyze a song and it comes up as 12A and that's your key, what you can do is flawlessly mix that song into one of the left or right number letter combinations or the one right opposite with the opposite B letter or the A letter, whatever it is. So 12A will mix flawlessly into 12B, or 12A will mix flawlessly into 1A, or backwards into 11A. There are definitely other combinations, but that's the most simplest form to use it. And it's amazing when you can get an incredible mix of two songs perfectly in key. There's a really cool creative workflow you can do with that with live looping and stuff, and just really do a nice long blend and take your listeners on a little more of a journey than just playing songs over and over again. Plus, when you do a long mix with songs that are not mixed in key, it can be really, really unpleasant to listen to. I don't know how else to describe it, especially if there are other DJs in the room. They're always the ones that perk up when they hear those things. So this is such a great tool to help you look like a pro, sound like a pro, and use it to your advantage. I do want to point out that it is not something you should really rely on your entire DJ set for, but when you can nail it, it's amazing. So let's get started on the process here. Gonna open up the application here, which is not a free app. Okay, you can download this app and buy it. I believe it's around $60 US, something like that, at least at this current time. There is a built-in feature in Rekordbox also that does something similar using the Camelot, styling of relabeling system. I've been using Mixed in Key for a very long time, so I'm just more comfortable with it. I love it, and it's kind of been my go-to all the time here. All right, so now we're gonna dump our tracks into the software. I got a folder of music down here that I'm gonna select them all as I already have and just drag them in. You'll see it starts processing the files and it's gonna rename them in the actual folder where my music is. So on my hard drive, it will rename them with this new configuration, having the number and letter combo in the front. Pretty cool stuff. You can designate where you want that information to live, whether it's at the beginning of the track title, just in the BPM or something, or another area in the track information. Obviously the key of the song. At the end of the track title, there's a lot of different options. So you'll see here, it's analyzed the songs. I have my folder, and now they all start with a number and a letter combination, which is part of the Camelot diagram. My music is now labeled through Mixed in Key. We can organize this in Rekordbox. Let's open that up here. Bring my folder of music back with my relabeled music. Drop those in. And let me see, this window pops up. It's an analysis setting. You can kind of curate how you want your BPM range to live in Rekordbox. I just leave this function as it is, and I don't really change that. And you typically don't really need to. It covers a pretty wide range. So now our songs are loading into Rekordbox. We're pretty much ready to move on to the next step. So stick around, because in the next lesson, we're gonna start getting these ready for performance mode. Catch you in a bit.